Hey, we're in the Winners Lounge. You know what?
Hell yeah, we are.
Hell yeah, we are. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Winners Lounge. I'm telling you, we're going to talk some shit about Tony Brothers tonight. I'm not going to get that out of the way right away.
What?
Yeah, we definitely are
why?
going. Oh, yes.
Wait, why? What do you do?
Oh, yes, we might. The Nuggets, this is such a weird... This is like such a weird entry into the Winners Lounge.
Yep.
Because you know what this was?
A butt kicking?
An absolute butt kicking. The ball was popping. I haven't tweeted that out in forever. It was absolutely popping. So many good things were happening. Tony Brothers tries to rain on our parade, but guess what? We're not going to let him.
Okay.
Well, we'll let him a little.
My parade's a little wet. I'm not going to
It's a little wet. We're going to dry out. We're going to thaw out. We're going to have a good time. We're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how you did tonight, Dev, but I handed out winner after winner after winner. My parlay, winner.
I was also a part of that. He was also a part of
did
that.
it right here
we
together.
all won together.
Yep.
And when you win, we win. Everybody wins tonight.
It was fun. By the way, Nuggets up 33 points. The only thing left is the gambling. It was true. Because Jokic ended up having to come back in. But there was a moment in time there where we needed one more assist, one more point, and you were sweating it every time down court. This is why gambling is so fun.
Yeah, I know. What's that saying? Like, nothing left but the details. But that's not the right thing. But if you gamble, nothing left but the parlays. Nothing left but the parlays.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, I got Brennan Vogt over here as well. He's doing ad reads tonight. He's very excited about it.
More like Tony, not my brother.
Is that right? Oh, dude.
Brothers.
Roasted.
I was going to say Tony's sisters, but it's 2021. Come on,
Yeah, it is
man.
2021. Yeah, well, it's actually almost 2022.
There's nothing wrong with being a sister. But you know what, Tony? Congrats, you win. We saw you. We're talking about you. My man.
You know what? That is what's annoying, right? I do think Tony Brothers probably has taken the Joey Crawford reign of guy who most enjoys being seen, of officials. He has an ego to him.
He's literally like a bad child. He's like a middle child that acts out. Where he's like, "Oh, man, this game's going well. It's like pretty. There's not a lot of intrigue. Jokic is dominating. No one's talking about me at all.
He was pissy. Yeah, I think this is the second time he's thrown him out. Probably like the 10th tech he's given Jokic.
Goddamn.
They clearly have a history with each other. They clearly don't like each other. And this was one of those ones where he was probably just stewing there watching Jokic dominate. Jokic was so dominant tonight. I know we say this every night. He was so dominant. Tonight was the easiest he has ever made the other team look completely foolish.
That's it, man. He was in second gear the entire time. And not second gear like, hey, Jokic, do you mind waking up and setting the tone? I think Jokic has a lot of that inner LeBron clock, right? Of, do I need to push it, not just within any game, but any possession, any quarter, any stretch of a game, based off the opponent, where they're at in the schedule. I think Jokic knows exactly what's required of him. And tonight, it seemed like he knew, I am not going to kick myself into sixth gear to beat this team, and he certainly didn't have to. The Davis Bertans layup that he actually missed, and then the one on Daniel Gafford, the and one, he didn't leave the ground. And, guys are jumping left and right, and it was Tony Brothers got more out of Jokic tonight, demanded more from Jokic physically and emotionally than any player on the
We have
Wizards.
not mentioned a player yet.
The most effusive Jokic was all night. The most energy he expended at any given point in time was yelling.
Not one player has come up.
If the Nuggets play the Lakers in the playoffs and it gets to like a game 7, Tony Brothers is making an appearance.
Oh,
There's
man.
no question about it.
They're bringing in the big dogs. They're bringing in the guy. They're going to be like, hey, this team looks really good. They're trying to turn things around. Who can we put in there try to just ruin the moment?
Jokic is doing too well. We gotta get this dude out of here.
That's
Ratings
the
are
type
down.
of guy that he is, really. Tony Brothers is the worst.
Let's talk about Jokic, though. We'll talk more about it.
It was fun.
No, I'm going to keep coming back to the Tony Brothers thing. It's too fun, and it was too annoying because he really did ruin a perfect party.
Yeah.
He ruined a perfect party because this game from Jokic tonight, I'm telling you, he's on a tear. Somehow he wasn't Player of the Week. LeBron got it with worse stats somehow. It's so dumb. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Player of the Week, whatever. It's this stupid thing.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't really care either. But he's been on this tear. Jokic has just been playing over the last 5-6 games the best basketball of the year, and this year's been the best of his career. And then you have a game like tonight where, look, the Wizards weren't very good tonight. They were a little short-handed, and they were especially weak in their front court trying to guard Jokic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gafford, the kind of guy Jokic eats up, a guy that's not that smart of a defender, and Jokic was just like walking to his spots. Little fake here, gets him. Like, he, honest to God, that was the most insulting first 3 quarters I've ever seen a player play. I mean that. Like, Jokic tonight was insulting in how little he made it look like he was trying to put up what ended up being 28 points, 19 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, 1 block.
How many minutes?
I think that's where
31.
Where his biggest evolution has come. There used to be those times earlier in his career where you would say, like, why is he like toying around with this guy? Why is he, playing with his food or whatever the case may be? But now he's going to that point that whenever he has a mismatch, he treats it like a mismatch.
Yeah.
He knows that guards can't guard him. He knows that not physical, bigs or even intelligent bigs, he finds a way to just destroy them. And this was a sad game for me. Like, the way he did Daniel Gafford, it was a funeral. We watched a funeral because he had him frustrated the whole time, as if Gafford felt like he had a chance going into the game or something. But he's just destroying them completely for the entire game. Harrell had no chance against him, and he knew it. And this was a guy that they were saying everyone was clamoring for a moment. He was like in the running for like one of the defensive player of the years, and like he's a big guy, and he doesn't care. Jokic does not care with these type of players, and that's just the type of player that he is now.
Gafford approached this game to me. When you're a young trying to make whatever, okay, the MVP's in town. Like, this is a measuring stick game for me. Like, let me see. And he was out there, and it was just like, I'm getting cooked right now. I don't know.
I don't like how these measurements have come out.
The measurements were very, very embarrassing for Gafford tonight. But Yoke tonight, I mean, it sucks that the stupid ending happened the way it did.
Dude,
because 9 of 14, 28 points, 19 rebounds.
I'm so mad at how mad I am.
I know. It is.
I'm like, honestly, like, the only emotion I've left with was like anger and frustration.
I know, it's so dumb.
The Jokic-led Nuggets tonight were so comically dominant. It was just not. They were in their Globetrotters bag so hard early on. Like, they were playing with so much swag. They were just like backward. Facu was shot into orbit. Like, he was in the peak Facu zone because, like, he can, like, when Facu knows that he can do whatever he wants because the Nuggets are going to win anyway, and he just starts like throwing stuff and doing but everybody was playing like that, and we were laughing. Oh, how we were laughing. The Munder was assured. Life was good. Everything made sense, and then suddenly
it didn't, and it was kind of annoying. But I just want to stick on the fun part here with Jokic for a bit. 9 assists tonight, Vogt. He probably had another 9 to free throws.
You're right.
He gave a guy wide open layup, they get fouled.
Or the hockey assist, or just the missed shots. I mean, Jokic wrecks. This is like every Nuggets game, but there were a lot of particular ones where he served him up on a silver platter and didn't get the assist. I wonder, do they go back retroactively and change assists? I know they do with rebounds sometimes.
DraftKings owe me a little bit more money if they do this.
Well, you know what? They probably do. In a gambling world, they probably do.
DraftKings.
There's a chance that last DHO with Monte Morris, Dev, I know you were asking about that. That looked like a Jokic assist to me when they give him many times before. That's the last play before the ejection. Yeah. He didn't get it this time, so we'll see.
Let's keep talking about Jokic. Dev, what do you have for me for Jokic, man?
Really, I just don't understand why he's not getting more credit for just destroying everybody.
And even just more respect too. Like, from some of this is with Tony Brothers. It's like, come on, man. If this is LeBron,
never do that. Never.
It actually, like, really, I never want to just keep coming back to LeBron. But really, stars in the league do not get those type of calls. Stars in the league don't. First off, if a star in the league gets hit in the face, they're going to stop the play. They're going to review the play. They're going to review the play.
Right.
He's frustrated, and it's for a reason. It's not like Jokic is just out there upset and he's just looking for trouble. This is a guy that dominated the game in every aspect and really didn't even want to come in for the last part of the game. And then he's getting like hit in the face and things like that. So it's real frustration that others are not getting. So
go ahead and pull it up because this is the play-in question that you're talking about. So Spencer Dinwiddie, by the way, I think actually knew what he was doing. I think he knew Jokic was getting a little frustrated. So he goes in, he leans in, he catches him in the throat with the elbow and the knee with in the nuts, and Jokic goes down. Like, there was clear contact, and it was just a nothing. Like, for whatever reason, just a no whistle. Then Spencer Dinwiddie comes down the play after this, and grabs him, like on the just clearly trying to push the limits. This is what Dwight Howard did in that Lakers series inside the bubble, where he's like, they're not going to give this guy the benefit of the doubt, so I'm going to push the envelope. And Jokic snapped and lost his cool. He snapped tonight, lost his cool, and then finally is like, yo, I'm the MFing MVP. I've got 28, 19, and 9. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Saying. Like, if the thought pattern or process for Spencer Dinwiddie was like, I'm going to get this guy, I'm going to get under this guy's skin. Like, you don't think about LeBron James as this guy. Like, I'm going to take it to this guy. Like,
and we'll talk about it with Wind. I don't want to blow up his spot, but Michael Malone kind of wish Jokic didn't do that. I already saw that. It's a tough spot.
I wish he didn't too.
It's a tough spot in the game to get ejected. No, but I just want to say,
he was looking at the scores, like they're up 20, and you could tell Jokic's like, is it safe enough?
But also, man, I don't care. Like, yes, Jokic asked for that technical. He absolutely did.
Yeah.
But that is a very quick ejection. I just think of every important game I have ever watched Draymond Green play in.
Right.
And he gets to scream. And look, if it's fine if this is the way it is. I don't need technicals left and right. But he gets to chase the officials off the floor.
Right.
Tony, and I know Jokic yelled at him too, but Tony calls that second tee from across the floor. It's like, you know what you didn't need to do? That. You just didn't need to. And
I don't think he was a part of the play. I think he turned to Tony Brothers
said something else, and you make the call too, or something like that.
And then he gets ejected for that. Like, so that's disgusting. Not a ejectable offense.
I'm angry again.
And then also, really, why don't those plays go into review? When you get hit in the face, it usually goes into review where they're like, okay, he had a reason at least. I feel like they would have done that with other players.
Dude, that needs to happen. Also, refs need to answer questions after the game. Like, Tony Brothers needs to be held accountable.
Yeah, it is true.
Like, he just gets to
when you're showing the photo of Jokic being kicked in the nuts and punched in the face. Why do you think feel bad when you see that?
Like, I actually am glad Jokic. Like, I like when Jokic sticks up for himself. That's my official position from here on out. Like, you can't just do whatever you want to him anymore. I mean, it's never really been that way with him, but like, he's really put an exclamation point on it, and he'll let people know. I mean, like,
they never stop though.
It doesn't matter, but I like it. I like calling attention to it. Like,
here's the one thing I'll say. I think, and this has been true of 2 years. The Lakers clearly know this. The word is out on Jokic that you can get away with shit with him, but also that he loses his temper. And I'm telling you, like, Dwight Howard in that series 2 years ago was just trying to foul him without getting called because he knew Jokic would lose his mind. He did, and here we are 2 years later, and Jokic still can't. So to that point, he still can be sort of suckered in this as much as we think he has the right. And it's like ridiculous.
It's still a thing he has to control.
And I agree. The more late in the game, and they were up by so much, and the outcome was just
enough.
But they still won by 7-8. I mean, it really wasn't that close. Like,
it was that close. I disagree. It was that close.
I mean, it was and it was. I'm just saying, like,
they missed a lot of shots.
I don't prefer that, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that Jokic is like.
I get where it comes from.
Just like fuck this. Like,
all right,
fuck this.
Let's get this back to basketball here because, and again, back to positive.
Yeah, there's stuff to enjoy.
Eric's energy is starting to scare me here a little bit.
No, I'm mad again.
Yeah, like we're all angry. I want to scream.
Steaming.
But here's the thing. Jokic, now, as shorthanded as Denver is, you start playing guys like Davon Reed. You even get Jeff Green out there who's just not been taking many shots. I mean, Davon Reed 0 of 4, Jeff Green 4 of 6. I'm telling you, man, there's something to this formula. I don't know about the playoffs because in the playoffs, you need to have guys that can step up and you have to win multiple ways. But this strategy, at least in the short term, of just rely as heavily as you can on Jokic, great strategy.
It's working great.
Well, I always think of those Cavaliers teams that got criticized for being too LeBron heavy, or LeBron himself got criticized for dominating
and then
the
they
ball.
would win the championship.
Do you know what I thought about? Do you know what I thought about the Cavs team though? Giving the ball to LeBron. Good fucking
call,
plan. Yeah. Did you see the rest of the roster?
You know what though? It is this thing though where you're not just trying to win the games. Although right now maybe that is all Denver's trying to do is just win games. Yeah, they might just be doing it. So you ride this, but you do have to learn something throughout the season. A variety of ways to win because in a playoff series, I don't care what offense you are, you're going to be tested and forced to adjust and win different ways. And so I do think this is a short-term sort of thing. But heck, man. Jokic is just so capable of leading a team when they are fully reliant on him.
Yeah, and also it's just because he plays like the right brand of basketball. He's,
of course,
with him being ball dominant, he's not a ball hog. He's not the one that's taking, all of the shots every time, even though he could. So it's also just like cuts at the right time. It's a lot about timing. It's a lot about gravity and spacing. And those type of things you really can't plan for. You know, if in a playoff setting, yeah, you have time to actually sit there. That is your only thing that you're focusing on. But in the grand scheme of things throughout the season, you're having to bounce around. You're having to do all this traveling and everything else. So you're not really just trying to key in on this one guy. And it makes it a lot more difficult for teams coming into like these type of games. So right now, I think it's the best answer, especially when you're missing so many players for the Nuggets, where you're like, okay, we're going to give it to our best guy, and you're going to have to figure it out. And there's not really figuring it out because he's the one that's out there playing. He's the one that's actually doing things, and he also has the green light where he can make pivots, he can make audibles on the fly, and you really can't coach against those type of things.
But here's the thing I'm wondering, because I'm with you about this short term. I mean, there's no question. Like, what are you going to play through Davon Reed more? Like, no, like, of course you're going to be doing this. Here's the question. When Murray is fully healthy, when Michael Porter's fully healthy,
right.
I kind of feel like they need the same thing still applies. It's just now you have better players there. You are more capable, but it's like as great as Murray is, still giving the ball to Jokic like he touches it 3 times per possession. It's like, yeah, keep doing that because it works out every single time.
Yeah, and just to go back to that, a lot of those guys haven't seen it before. This is the first time that they've seen it because they've always been talented offensive players. They've always been, the best with the ball in their hands, and now they have another guy who they thought was good but is really like incredible. Like he's a god out there on the court, where I think now you start to understand. You could look at it from when Michael Porter Jr. went out, when Will Barton is not on the court. When you don't have a second guy that they necessarily have to give the ball to, everything else just flows. They actually know that you just rotate the ball. The ball is popping, and it's no coincidence Will Barton's not playing. It's no coincidence that Michael Porter Jr. is not playing. Jamal Murray's not playing. So I just think that it just becomes difficult. Different.
Those different in this regular season contained environment, and it really speaks to just Jokic's our ultimate take. Oh, he's hard to build around.
Yeah. Oh God, man.
Come on, dude.
That is
Monte
the ultimate.
Morris, Davon Reed, and Jeff Green started tonight.
That is the ultimate. Like of all of the dumb Jokic takes that there were, that is by far the dumbest one. Like that has aged the worst.
But I will
literally
say,
every player's good with Jokic. Like it just doesn't matter. What
it's
player.
like, Markus Howard, Vlatko, and no disrespect to these guys, but anyway, I my only pushback. The 5 starters can do it and have done it. That was the single most encouraging aspect of the way they played post Aaron Gordon trade deadline.
Right.
Was it just wasn't like, can some guy give us 50 tonight?
Right.
Everyone knew what to do. Everyone knew where to be, and they were all good enough to play their roles.
I'll tell you what, Aaron Gordon and Jeff Green both are very good play finishers. Not just in obviously being athletic and can dunk, but that pass, the play that really exemplifies all of this to me was Jokic had to come back in the 4th, right before he gets ejected. He hits Gordon on a dive, right? Like his guy doubles, hits Gordon. Gordon immediately hits Jeff Green on the roll.
It's a great
Jeff
one.
Green finishes. It's like that. Like Aaron Gordon, I don't know that he's a great passer, but he is more than capable of making the extra pass or passing on the move off of a cut. So you get Jokic. Like honestly, man, I don't know how you stop Jokic. I definitely just don't think you double. Like Eric and I were both watching this game in the first possession of the game. Literally the first possession of the game. Yep. They double Jokic hard. He throws the pass at Aaron Gordon, smashes it. And we open up DraftKings. We're like, we're taking the assist no matter what the live line is because they're going to double him and we're just going to take it. And we won.
No,
I won.
I lost. I took it. The live assist line was at 9.5.
Mine was 8.5 and I won.
That is effing brutal, dude.
It is effing brutal. I'm glad to be acknowledged for that.
You were right though. It just you lost on technicality. He honestly had like 30 potential assists tonight.
30. It is funny though, like watching a player like Aaron Gordon come into the Nikola Jokic sphere of basketball and just watching how it changes his fundamental way that he plays the game. Like he starts to become an amazing passer. Like everybody just like starts to like try to emulate Jokic in the way that they're able to, at least just like becoming more selfless and like trying to find the right play all the time. Man, I love Jokic. I can't believe how mad I am though. Just having a hard time over here.
So, a little insight into that's so funny. Earlier this year, I asked Aaron Gordon what was his favorite part of basketball. What it was. And he remember he was like, I like ISO, I like playing off the dribble, this or that. But one of the reasons I asked him that is I am curious if that changes for him. Because he's so good at this stuff.
Yeah.
And I wonder if like his favorite part becomes making passes on the move off of like kick out. Like when the balls pop and just being a part of that.
It has to be, right? I mean, think about how eagerly he re-upped and how early he re-upped. And that is his role in Denver, and he knows that. So I think if there are reservations about leaning into that, maybe he doesn't.
But this year, I feel like he's doing more. Like last year, he had great defensive. That. I feel like now he's kind of like reading, just like, oh, I know what's about to happen. I get to be a part of this. And it's just it's cool to see. I think he's liking it.
What would this? What would we be talking about if not for Tony Brothers? Would we just be talking about
how dope that was? You want to talk about Facu? Because I'm effing ready.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to fold my energy over and pretend that didn't happen and reset what I would be talking about.
All right, let's take a break, and I'm gonna get an ISO to vote over here because I'm telling you, nobody loves the Tiny Kings more than him. And
dude, big week for Tiny.
Big week for Tiny Kings.
Hey, if you're 5'10" or under, buy a lotto ticket.
Well, actually, one last thing here, King of the Game, because we just went out of it. It's who everybody thought. It's that's not who I thought it was going to be. There it is. It's Tony Brothers, the only man to stop Jokic all season. Very well earned. Tony Brothers. Like, I know what you look like. I don't want to look at him anymore. Put the real King of the Game up. The true King. There he is, 28 points, 19 rebounds, 9 assists. What a hilarious line.
I agree with that comment there, Jimmy Mack. That's a good one. All right, let's talk about Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. We sell their beers, we sell their seltzers here at the bar. You can also get them from the farmhouse. It's socially distanced, beautifully set up for outside dining. You can still order curbside pickup from 12 to 8 p.m. If you're just trying to get that booze to your front door, you can do so with beer delivery from the Drizzly app, or just head to your nearest grocery store like King Soopers or Costco. If you're a Nuggets fan, you got to try the Mile High City Copper Lager. It's that Nuggets-themed beer. It's delicious. It looks sleek. It drinks well. Drinks easy. So just punch it in the Breck Beer locator. Tell them where you live. Tell them what you're looking for. It'll tell you where to go. Really neat trick. Breck Beer, the official brewery of DNVR. By the way, if you do order from the farmhouse for pickup, use code DNVR to save $5. We like to talk about sports and beer on this show. We also talk about sports betting on this show, particularly DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook.
A couple times.
It has come up from time to time.
I'm sure we all love an action-packed, high-scoring NFL game, but with the latest no-brainer from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, you'll be a winner once again. Once a single point is scored, a single point. Just a reminder: a field goal's worth 3 and a touchdown's worth 6. So a single point. Probably going to happen. New customers who bet just $1 on any team to score win.
He knows football, man.
$100 in free bet. I was talking to Kale earlier. He was schooling me up.
Man.
New customers bet $1 on any team to score can win $100 in free bets. It's that simple. Also, get in on these same game parlays, baby. We're enjoying the Nuggets. We're profiting off the Nuggets. The DNVR Bet Show is one of the great ways to learn how to gamble responsibly, but also still get some dubs and some green in your pocket successfully. That's right, Eric. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and draw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. Bet $1 on any team score. You win $100 in free bets. If they score, you score with promo code DNVR this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
That was insane.
Yeah, that was like the Micro Machines commercial.
That was...
He wants to get to Facu. My man
I'm ready.
is itching. So here's how I'll set you up. Jokic was the best player on the court tonight. He was the best scorer on the court tonight. He was the best rebounder on the court tonight. And dare I say he was the best assister on the court tonight. But he was not the best highlight passer on the court tonight. That belonged to one Tiny King who tonight may have had 5 of the greatest passes in the history of basketball.
Really?
Yeah, just tonight.
Facu's been slowly turning this ship around for a while. And now we're starting to see not just production, but we're starting to see El Mago. We're starting to see the flair, the Facu magic. That over-the-head pass, of course, in that last game, he had like 3 tonight where I had a full out-of-body experience. I think I almost hit Eric in the face by accident.
Actually stood all the way. I've never seen it. Like, we've stood on the chair part before, but you stood on the top of the chair and climbed the towers we have here. It was incredible.
I was losing my mind. I will remember. That's why
you got to come down to the DNVR bar, see stuff like this. Literally bouncing off the walls tonight.
His defense was incredible. I mean, people are going to hear people talk about Facu. Check the box score: 2 of 9, 0 of 5 from 3. Not his best night as a scorer, but the assists were there. The defense was incredible. The amount of ground that guy covers when he's locked in should not be ignored. And there are plenty of problems wrong with this bench. And I never expected a third-string guard making $3.1 million to fix them. But I do remember, and I will remember, the way he was scapegoated when things weren't going well.
Oh, no.
Facundo Campazzo, $3.1 million, third-string guard, who's needed
You
to
hear that,
play
Twitter?
since the second they signed him because of all the injuries. Wow, I'm glad he's on the roster. Don't know about you guys.
Boy, Twitter. Vogt has got you in his crosshairs.
Put you on blast. Dev, how do you evaluate Facu's night tonight?
When somebody's passing like that, it's contagious, and Facu's getting back to being that contagious player. I think at times there was.
Let's use a different word in this day and age.
Yeah, okay. He was trying to find he's trying to find himself. I think that he was like out of position. He also was just kind of lost, not knowing what was expected of him or what he can do. Because he came in as a great passer, and I think he tried to get away from that to try to add on to his game. But that's just not who he is. He's a passer. He's a guy that can get everyone else involved. And you're starting to see like the flashy passes. You're starting to see the energy in the defense. But also you're just seeing them like play at a highly confident like level where he's not in competition with other people anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a time of there's this new young, guard. There's also trying to get those minutes that, Jamal Murray's not there anymore. And him and Monte was kind of like sharing off. But now I feel like he's like comfortable and back to himself. And you're starting to see it because the passes that he's taken, like you just don't make those type of things. And everyone else is just like so happy around him. You can see people work harder, move faster to try to get open because they know they're going to be rewarded.
Eric, I feel like fancy passing from Jokic and from Facu is sort of a barometer for how connected the team.
Yes.
I always use this word. George
Like
Karl
that.
uses it, and I've like adopted it because it's true. A team can be connected.
Yes.
Where they're like sharing a brain, basically.
Dude, it's when they start pinging hard on the swagometer, when they're like playing, it's always when they're feeling comfortable that they start to get great. Like early on, I tweeted, I was like, I think they're playing the Washington Generals tonight.
Yeah,
That
was,
look like-
that
a good
was
one,
such
though.
a good
They
one.
look like they look like the old Globetrotters out there. But the point being, like, they really are. I mean, if whether it's connectivity or if it's just like general confidence, like once they start to feel like what Dev is talking about, once you start like stop worrying about whether or not you're going to play well, you just go out there and you do what comes natural, and like you start to play in a way that's like, I mean, it's like psychological warfare against your opponent when you're just like. Just an
This is
effort
so
mode.
easy
You're
for
like,
us.
You're like, not
Yeah.
only are we going
It's
to
a
make
great point,
baskets,
Eric.
we're going to make baskets in a way that are going to make you look foolish,
It's
childish.
kind of like the Lob City Clippers, right? Like they'd go on
Yes.
a big run and then they punctuate it
Yep.
with a big
Yep.
alley oop. Denver's is a little different, but it is that like we're
Well,
feeling ourselves,
dude,
and it's
Golden
galvanizing.
State's the best of this.
Yes.
though. Like
This is
Golden
true,
State,
yeah.
when they get
Straight
like
demoralization.
8 passes into a wide open 3 where everyone's dancing and stuff, like for sure.
That's the thing. Like when you're mad and the person you're mad at is smiling.
Oh, dancing, yeah.
Like, can I just tell you, I experience this a lot. People are mad and I'm smiling. Like it just
They want to hit me
like
in the
it
face.
just
I can
makes you
tell.
like more
Yeah.
and more upset. And
Yeah.
I mean the Wizards were playing horribly in the first half, and I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the fact that they were like, man, F this. Like, it doesn't matter what we're doing here. Like, they're not getting 2 points; they're getting 10 points on every possession by just bringing it to us. Also, one of the greatest comments ever. I can't let it go. Pie. After votes for a little soapbox session, somebody asked what brand that soapbox was. Irish Spring? I think it's a leprechaun joke.
Jesus, dude. Hey, here's my deal. If it's funny, I'm laughing, and you guys are funny. So I'm a little hurt, but I'm mostly laughing.
You were making a great point. And I was like, I got to shut up. I can't laugh out loud.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
Oh, my man.
It's a crypto
poop. Let's go, dude.
It's just to see like the Nuggets play with that type of flair, and like they were panning to the bench, and you like got to see them like smiling, laughing, having fun. You only see that when Facu is like having those type of games, or if Bones is having those type of games. And I wish that the Nuggets could do that with the starting unit as well, where there's fun things that could get them going, and it's just not only that second unit. I think that Jokic being so great takes away from that, which makes it very hard because he goes for, these triple doubles, these close to triple doubles, and they're not having that same type of fun. But when the bench unit is like going off, then that's when it generates to the starters as well. And how do they get to that point where it's everyone is just like enjoying it?
We saw tonight, like if the second unit it does permeate into the starters. Like Jokic started to do, everybody started to do it. And actually, like that's what we need from the second unit is just like life.
Yeah.
We've gotten no life from them. And then over the last 2 games, it's just like been absolute like adrenaline shot to the heart.
Whereas like the first half of the season, it was flipping an hourglass upside down and just watching.
I'll say this one thing though. With we talk about them starting to throw the crazy passes to that. The Nuggets were up 33, and it was that group that included both Jokic and Facu that I think they took it too far because they actually blew it. It went all the way down to like 20 because they were starting to be like, you could tell Jokic was like, I'm just going to try some crazy stuff for a while. I want to get my triple. They were so zeroed in on it.
They're passing it back out. This isn't good enough.
You're just looking for them to have one good or win one stint, right? I mean, it's
the bench?
Yeah, I don't think you're not going to expect them to have complete games, or I don't think anyone should hold their breath.
Especially when you're up that much. Like it's not an excuse, but it is really hard when you're up 30 and there's 24 minutes left and you're like.
And the Nuggets also knew what we knew. Like no one's going to say it, but like, oh shit, Jokic's out. What do we do?
Right.
And so I know it's like, well, they're pros and they should be more well coached, but the reality of it is the game plan is Jokic, and he wasn't there. And not, by the way, I have seen some people criticizing this team and Malone for the way they closed that game without Jokic. I want to point out a couple of things. First of all, Jokic matters. He's very good, so that part's not surprising. Second of all, it's not just no Jokic. It's no Jokic. It's no Jamal Murray. It's no Michael Porter Jr.
It's no max players.
It's no PJ Dozier, who was supposed to be a key role player. Like that is not you. You don't do well.
Does every team have a max player on it?
That's a good question.
That's a good. No, do the Houston? Yeah, the John
Magic,
Wall,
no.
The Orlando Magic. Yeah, I don't think they do.
We're missing 2 max level players.
All right. Here to bring it back to basketball, I have a question. It's kind of I don't want it to be a downer. Like but it is worth asking. The best the bench has looked over the last 10 games have both come in games without JaMychal Green. Both come in games without him. Is there? And look, it's the same with Facu. Like Facu was in his bag tonight. We've talked about this a little bit. Like they're not going to the pick and pop at the top of the key every single time. Do you think, Dev, you're shaking your head, do you think there might be a little something to it?
Yeah, and it's not even to say that JaMychal Green is not like, a good player or he is a good player. It's more so to guys meshing together and it fitting what they need at the time. Yeah. In that second unit, you have guys like Bones, Facu, guys that are, passing the ball around, getting everyone involved. There's spacing, there's just clicking. Then it's him, and I really feel like he's just kind of like not part of that unit, but he's also forcing himself to be a part of that unit because he's the veteran out there.
Yeah.
So it's not just guys just trying to get better or anything like that. So I think that they just don't go together. And then how do the Nuggets get it to where he's playing better basketball or he's part of that unit where he can fit in? It's just not a fit.
Yeah, you know what I think it is? I mean, the difference in the last 2 games has really been Markus Howard, like him feeling confident, hitting shots. And I wonder if there is something to the idea that you have a veteran in there, you have a guy that's been in the league for a long time and sort of feels like the buck stops with him at a certain point, like he's sort of responsible for stopping or just being the backstop of that second unit. And so maybe guys like Markus Howard and Bones Highland don't feel comfortable taking shots that they have been taking.
I think this might be part of it.
That's what I mean. Maybe it kind of fucks up the flow that way.
Not also, because it's necessarily him, but just because he's a veteran and you kind of feel like he's ahead of you in the pecking order.
God,
when he's not.
It's so brutal. I got out all of my J-Mike hate on Twitter a few days ago. I really don't like piling on, but this
isn't about hating or just hating. Yeah. It really is about the fit. This is the question I'm asking is, do you think there's something to it, or is I believe the Miami game. Miami's pretty short-handed. Jokic came back, and then I think it was this game, which is like the Wizards weren't very good.
The direct question is Marcus the ascension of Markus Howard and Bones Highland playing better? Is that a direct correlation?
I think it's play style, and this is.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's about they spam that Facu J-Mike pick and pop or pick
they really
and non-roll.
They way overdo it.
I do not know why they do, and they do when those guys are on the court together.
It might be the worst 2-man game in the NBA.
It really is, and it's not. And coming out of Bones and Zeke playing well, they just stuck those 2 guys on the other side of the court, and they spam Facu J-Mike. They spam it. And so it's like that action, I feel like, is as much a problem as anything else. It's not just that J-Mike is playing poorly, it's that when he's in there, they rely on him for whatever reason. Real quick, Deb, I just want to say, I know Will Barton has not played those last 2 games, but the starters have not been the problem all year. And he was also on the floor when they were playing well to start the season, when they won that game without Jokic. So I do think there's something to how Reed plays with this group. But yeah, I'm always going to call out that Barton stuff because it's a little silly.
Yeah, and then also I feel like with that second unit, when you see them play like exceptionally well or just well, because that really is the difference between a Nuggets win and a loss. But when they've played well, the big thing is they've hit the 3 ball pretty well.
Yeah.
So Markus Howard gets himself going. Bones gets himself going from deep. Zeke Naji has been getting himself going from deep. JaMychal Green hasn't had those moments. So, and then they go to the play style where they're trying to do pick and pops. They're trying to generate or run the offense through him. And really, I think it's from being a vet. So I think that that's a big part of it. If he was knocking down more shots from deep, maybe that changes like the idea of how they are. But he's not. So it makes it like more difficult.
Markus Howard had a hilarious line tonight. He goes 3 of 4 from 3, has 9 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 1 turnover, 5 fouls. 12 minutes. It's a pretty hilarious. I mean, it's not like, what's he out there for? 3-point shooting. He's not out there for anything else. He provided nothing else other than those things tonight. So you got what you wanted.
Ask and you shall receive.
Ask and you shall receive, for sure. Monte Morris continues to make shots, man. I mean, he really is playing pretty great. 22, 6, and 5 for him. 3 of 7 from the 3-point line.
He was awesome tonight.
And by the way, he had, when you talk about Yoke goes out, 20-point, 18-point game or whatever, he had 2 of the biggest shots that were like, hey, you just need like 1 or 2 buckets, and he provided 2 of them, and it was, a huge tip of the hat to him. Any other notes here? Aaron Gordon, I thought, was great tonight again. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. It's funny, he's getting into the territory where I don't want to take him for granted. Like, he does so many things important, including guard Bradley Beal tonight, and his line tonight was just like average, 16, 5, and 3. Almost sweep it as if it was like he was just a guy, but he wasn't.
The thing is that he scored 14 in the first half.
Yeah.
And then he scored 2 points and in the second half, and also when we then needed somebody to step up when Jokic was gone, he wasn't able to at all, which was like a little disconcerting, but it just like it's what neither here nor there, but I think that's why it feels like his night wasn't as impactful as it actually was.
And the game plan probably for the Wizards going into the game was like, let's double team Jokic, let's put all of our attention on this one guy, and then Aaron Gordon starts out with a dunk, and then also he scores 14 points in the first half. Now you're like, okay, that's not going to work. You can't do that. And also he's a power forward that provides spacing, and also they have chemistry together. So I feel like he puts like a wrench or a wrinkle in their plans where they have to adjust. And I think that becomes hard. So I think that him starting out so big opened up Jokic for the rest of the night.
Anybody else here that do you think deserves a mention? Zeke Naji, not really a super eventful night. The one thing I'll say is I wanted to see how he would handle the physicality of Montrez. It wasn't a story in this one. Although I will say, Montrez, little mopey tonight.
Yeah.
Dude.
Little mopey. Montrez is a very expressive individual, and when he's not happy, it's very obvious.
He had Facu rotated and picked him up under the rim. Facu just takes a swipe at the ball, and Harrell yells "and one" and just breaks it off the front rim. I'm like, dude, that is embarrassing.
I really don't like Montrez's game. Like, he's one of those guys I just really don't care for. Jeff Green tonight, 13 points, 5 rebounds, didn't really do anything
He was
else.
really good, though.
But he's really good. And here's what I'll say, man. I said this in the pregame, but Aaron Gordon makes Jokic's job really easy. Jeff Green makes Jokic's job really easy. And I think one of the reasons you're seeing these monster stat lines from Jokic lately is he's got 2 guys that just know how to put him in position to do the things he does. And it's like, there's nothing more valuable than that. Knowing where guys are supposed to be and knowing that they'll be there, trusting that they'll be there. And Jokic's just in his bag because
But
of
Jeff
it.
Green, you almost don't want to have takeaways, right? Just like, okay, he quietly did what he's supposed to do. You don't really want to remember a ton of Jeff Green because that means he's taking care of what he needed to do.
Yeah, it's kind of how you want to think about a referee. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's crawl out inside. That was good.
Thanks, bro.
You wanted Vlatko Chanchar minutes?
I was
You
just
got
about
him?
to say, like, what did you guys think? I thought he was, like, good. Like, in the same kind of way. Like, he wasn't an active positive or a negative. He just kind of was. And the bench sort of flourished with him in there. and in the same way that maybe it hasn't with Jermichael Green.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I mean, look, this was a good night. The Nuggets were really good for most of this game, like ridiculously, laughably great. And they've been laughably great now 2 games in a row for at least portions of it. I mean, they were up 30 on San Antonio. They were up 30 against Washington. That's twice that you're up that much. Like, that doesn't have 30 is a lot to be up in an NBA game, man.
I mean, Dev, is this not, I mean, you're big on this point. Is this not how it looks when the bench gives you one good half?
I really do think that it's the difference between the Nuggets team because they have Jokic. So you have a starter and you have a starting unit that knows how to play together and knows how to mesh. As soon as you get positive minutes or just good minutes from them where he gets to buy some time on the bench or he gets to have a lead when he gets back in the game where he's comfortable and not pressing, it changes like the whole the game plan of what to do moving forward, where it's not a lot of pressure on him. He gets to go out there and just play free. You also have a guy like Facu, who he's not, trying to just straight take care of the ball or play in a way that's not, like his strength. So those minutes just they extend leads and they just keep minutes off.
We're going to hit our last break on the other side. Harrison Wynn reporting live from Ball Arena. We're going to do some of this. But first, I have 2 important announcements to bring up. I don't know if you guys remember. Number 1, January 16th. January 16th, Nuggets Jazz. Rudy Goober's back in town. Nuggets going to take, and guess what? We're taking over Ball Arena. We're going to have a bus. It looks exactly like that.
Yeah.
It looks like the bus in Shawshank Redemption, I would say. I don't
that's
know if
actually
that's a deep cut.
That's actually to scale.
To scale. That's exactly right.
How are we going to teach these kids to read if they can't even fit through the front door?
But this is going to be a great time. I'm telling you guys, if you're thinking of a last-minute holiday idea or if you just want to come hang out and meet a bunch of like-minded people, sit together in the arena and all cheer on the Nuggets together,
hell yeah.
It's going to be great. This is what DNVR is all about, bringing people together. We're going to have a great time. We're going to be there on a bus. So sign up right now at DNVRLocker.com. Tickets are $100, lower bowl. It's really great. And then lastly, we also have gift boxes, guys. There's lots and lots in a DNVR box. Do you guys catch that reference?
Not particularly. What'd you say?
There's lots and lots in the DNVR box.
That doesn't even rhyme.
Is it Dr. Seuss?
No. See if anybody catches it in here. Maybe I'm the only person that remembers this stupid reference. I'll tell you later. We got a gift box. You guys sign up right now, or you get a gift box right now. You give the gift of a DNVR subscription. So like tomorrow, for example, if you had a subscription, you could tune in and watch The List. Film study deep dive on the Denver Nuggets. I've got 8 clips already from the weekend's game. This is going to be a bunch more from tonight's game, so you can tune in, do that. You can read the grades post. Harrison Wynn's great wind chimes piece. By the way, Harrison Wynn, I was so excited today when I read his wind chimes and saw who his favorite target was for the Nuggets to trade for. I let out a fist pump. I was so excited.
What if he had written Lonzo Ball?
Then you know what? He gets a raise. That's it.
The thing about the gift box is that you give it and you get $15 back yourself.
Oh, that's lit.
So here's the gift box. You give a DNVR subscription. You give 2 T-shirts, and you get $15 just for being a homie. It's an incredible deal. All right, Vogt. Take us to the home stretch.
Righty.
Let's go.
We're going to do some around the association.
So you guys know
later.
it's no longer Pepsi Center. It's Ball Arena.
Taco Bell. Brian got it.
We're partnered with Ball as well. And we've got some more information about Ball. Their Golden Plant, we talked about how they're looking for jobs. Let's get specific. They're looking for production technicians. And of course, you can read a full-on description and apply at jobs@ball.com. Just search for Golden. But real quick, I'll tell you a little bit about what you need to know. What is a production technician exactly? The position is on the front line of the aluminum beverage can production process at Ball's plants. The company offers a competitive $27.39 per hour with a potential for increase at 6, 12, and 18 months on the job. It offers exposure to a lot of other manufacturing opportunities in the plant. The production technician role touches on other stages of production, making aluminum cans and ends. Ball knows that it's the people that work for them that make them special, and they want you to be a part of it. So text Golden to 77222 and you'll get linked to open positions. You can also go directly to jobs.ball.com and search for Golden. That's jobs.ball.com and search for Golden, or simply text Golden to 77222. Guys, I used to not manscape because I didn't want to do it with rusty.
Oh, it was so bad.
We call those the furry days.
It's like, I'm going to use my face razor. No, I'm not going to do that.
I was like, Brendan, don't talk to me until you've manscaped.
Yeah, one time Eric caught me doing it with like kindergarten scissors. He's like, that's not how it works.
I'm like, it is wildly distracting, bro.
But I joined the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. I use code DNVR at manscaped.com, got 20% off plus free shipping. Now I have that Performance Package 4.0, including that Lawnmower 4.0 in my home. I manscaped all the time. I mean, I can't stop manscaping.
We talk freely now.
Yeah,
every day.
just every day. We're just
every day.
Freely.
I really can't stop. So join the 2 million men worldwide, and use code DNVR at manscaped.com. You get 20% off plus free shipping. Shave your balls, fellas.
Please. If you're going to come to the DNVR bar.
And we're all about hygiene this break. We also want to make sure that your dental hygiene is on point. Make sure you check out our friends at Green Mountain Dental Group, long-standing partners. And by now, that are fans of the show, know that when you schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam, you'll receive a free Sonicare toothbrush. It's an insane value. That's not the only reason we push you in that direction. Every dentist loves small talk, but at least at Green Mountain Dental Group, they're extreme Colorado sports fans just like you, just like me, just like all of us here at DNVR. Check out Green Mountain Dental Group and schedule a cleaning, x-ray, exam to walk out the door with a free Sonicare toothbrush. Tweet at us when you go.
Let's go.
Somebody sent me a video of Jokic's brother screaming at Tony Brothers.
Oh, baby.
Oh, he looks up at him, actually. All right, I'm sending to Kale. We're getting
Holy
this one.
smokes.
All right,
So
Kale,
wait,
you're getting this one.
What do we want to see more? The Jokic brothers versus the Morris brothers, or the Jokic brothers versus the brother?
Tony Brothers?
The brothers. The brothers versus the brothers?
You can't say that.
Yeah, I
They just had
I've
to
had a couple
police
of
it.
those gaffes on this show. Well, I meant Tony brothers.
Go ahead and play the video here. You can see the Jokic brothers are screaming at Tony Brothers. Very upset. Tony Brothers looking at them. Oh, yeah, look at him. Oh, man, he's making gestures. He's making faces. Tony Brothers, wow. He loves it, though. You know what? This is like Joey Crawford. Like, the more you scream at him, it just gives him power. He's not one of the, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, he's like taking the bow. It's like, this is what I always wanted. All right, let's get to some Super Chats, Kale. I understand we have some Super Chats from the homies. Brian, who, by the way, is the winner of the trivia, guessing the $5
Oh, what
box.
does he win? Are you going to buy him a $5 box?
I'll buy him a $5 box.
There's lots and lots in that box.
box. I don't know why. You ever just remember commercials?
Clearly, no one but you and Brian.
I've got these tiny hands.
Hey, Brian.
Exactly. I have these tiny hands.
Adam and Brian, go outside sometimes.
Refs should only be allowed to give out tees for vulgarity and physical violence. Suck it up and deal with everything else.
I like the idea of getting punched in the face, getting up and being like,
technical. All right, that's technical. That's a technical.
I gotta bet Jokic used some vulgarity.
Yeah, I'll bet he did. He needs to start cursing in Serbian. You know, they're
It's
like,
true.
I don't
It's
know
true.
if
It's
he
true.
said anything
that
bad
might
or
be
not.
it. They might just assume he is.
Is that sounded really bad? I don't know what it was.
I don't like the tone of that, sir. It felt like physical violence.
It is funny that you can just get a tech for yelling at an official, because you're right. It does become a matters of degree.
Yeah, of course.
Then you're like, I don't. Well, you yelled in a menacing way. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Well,
know.
I think the thing to take into consideration is that it's like every referee is 3 feet shorter than every basketball
True.
player, and you can like really physically intimidate someone.
It's very scary, very
And it's
quick.
probably really scary. Yeah, so they have to like make sure that they keep that on wraps, like pretty.
Yeah. All right, there you go. Maybe you should make it. You know what? I think you could do it where I like Dev's idea about media availability. Referees should have to speak to the media. They should have to speak to the media if they give a tech. So referees
They have to
like
think about it
Yeah,
like-
they're like, I don't want
that's
to do
awesome.
this.
I
I don't
like
want to.
that.
You know what?
Is
Damn
this-
it! I'm gonna have to go
is
to a
this
podium
worth it?
tonight.
No, it's
My
not.
feet
Yes!
hurt.
That'd be
That's
so
great.
mad.
It does. There needs to be retribution. There needs to be on each
Retribution.
side. There needs to be a reaction for every action. You're
There
right.
you go.
All right, we
There
solved
needs
it.
to be cold, bloody
I need violence.
DeFan
Revenge
says,
is what they need to
brother's
be.
sixth ejection of Jokic in 4 years. WTF NBA. Is that a true stat? Does not feel real. Is it really a stat?
Here's the thing. It's
That is
definitely
absolutely disgusting.
Six times? I honestly thought it was twice. Six?
Well, this has to become cyclical, right? Because like if you're Jokic, you pick up on this, and then it gets worse and worse and worse.
They just hate each other.
I
They
wonder
do.
how many times he's been ejected, period, and then see
Probably
how
6.
what the percentage is.
Ooh.
From
No,
there.
I think he's been ejected by one other ref.
Well, there was, what's his name? Yeah, there's
I
definitely-
think probably 7 times.
He did almost hit Campaign in the nose. There was that one.
Oh right. Yep.
Honestly, a lot of these times he's kind of
He's
asking
been
for
ejected
it.
quite a few
He's definitely asked for it.
All right, we got Astray. He says, this Brothers Nuggets feud is getting pathetic. Someone needs to contact the league office and get this shit settled. Here's the thing. As much as I agree with you, every team has their guy
Yeah,
that's
100%.
like, this is our guy. What was the one with Chris Paul? Remember in the playoffs last year where it was like,
Oh, it's
Scott Foster,
Scott
isn't it?
Foster,
Scott
yeah,
Foster.
where he's like 0-18 against Scott Foster in the last 7 years in the playoffs or something. And again, they also sent him to like game 6 or 7 or something of a series. It's like, come on, man. So every team has this. The NBA doesn't care. They just don't care. What else are we gonna do? Pep says, thanks for SPG with Adam.
SPG win, Adam. The same game parlay.
Ah, hell yeah, man. We got it. Tony B is the best player on the Wizards, above 500 again. Stoked to see MVP in Brooklyn Sunday. Sombor or bust? LFG. Hell yeah,
go,
Sombor.
Pep. Send us a picture
Little
from the
$5
arena,
sending us to Sombor. I loved this all year, just sending us to
Our people.
Serbia. It's so cool.
You know
man.
what's going to be like? We're not going to go. We're just going to put it all on black in Vegas one day.
We should do that. That would be a lot of fun.
We just have to show up like
we didn't
sheepishly
make
to the
it.
show.
It was red.
We're like, hey, everybody, it was green. It was double zeros.
Double zero. It's Nug life, am I right? Logan says, rate these refs, brothers. Foster, David, Guthrie.
Oh, David Guthrie, Foster, Scott Foster, Tony.
I mean,
Brothers.
Tony Brothers for Denver. Who is the one I'm forgetting? There's another one that Jokic has a thing with.
Is it David Guthrie?
No, he has. It starts with an N. How am I not?
I don't know.
This?
I just don't want to know any of these losers' names.
I don't wanna
And
know any of their names.
Perhaps we're breathing too much oxygen into their
Yeah.
We
probably.
can't
proverbial
not,
room.
bro.
I
We're
know.
there.
But thank you, Logan. We appreciate you.
All right. What's the last one? Jack tells us ejection for the
it's
Somber
it's
King.
a poem time.
Oh, all right. You want to go for it?
Yeah. Ejection for the somber king. He leaves. We do nothing. But we're on the upswing. I hear Yoke scream from Beijing. But we'll see what this season brings.
I love it, man. Anytime you
Jack-
get Beijing in there, it's
Jack,
like
are
a
you
great
in
one.
Beijing?
Yeah, I feel like that line was a stretch, but I was with
No,
you.
dude,
on
that
the-
was like a flex haiku.
Oh, yeah.
You'd like work in that you're in Beijing, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I would have never thought
We
that
didn't think that at
he
all.
was Chinese. That's crazy.
I bet he's not.
He's like, I'm actually in Colorado Spring, which also rhymes. Why didn't I think of that? Ah! Terrible. All right, what else we got?
Rodney Mott.
Rodney Mott is the other a-hole. All right, pay for Michael Malone's fine fund. That was a 25-point.
It's true.
6-point win. It really was,
It's
man.
true.
That was a 25-point, 6-point win.
Your
Yeah,
classic
it was a
6-point
It was a
blowout.
6-point blowout.
Sorry, Eric.
so dumb.
Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry, man.
It was so
I didn't
dumb.
know. I didn't know you had it.
Alrighty, so guys, you know what time it is?
Oh, shit, really?
Time to talk to Win, please, God.
It is time for Eric's favorites
Around the
around the association.
Around
Let's
the
take a
ass.
look around the association, around the ass.
Somebody made a round association on.
And I threatened to quit if we put it on because
Eric doesn't like
this
if
is my
anybody makes it,
deep-seated
yeah.
joke.
I'm not
My
gonna lie.
joke is that the graphic is terrible.
That
You can't put a
graphic
good
was-
graphic up.
that
That
graphic
shows
was-
me up and steals my joke.
It was
What
incredible.
part is the joke?
The joke is that I waste my time on here when I'm a talented artist and I could be doing any number of things around this world. I can go to
Eric's an
Beijing.
artist, everyone.
He's such an artist. Dallas, the Mavericks, ever heard of them? They won tonight 120-96. I'm just scrolling the box score
Dallas
here.
won? That's disappointing.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah, but
Dallas-
they're playing without LaMelo Ball also.
Also
Oh, they
without
played
LaMelo.
the fake
Yeah,
Hornets.
yeah.
Oh, that explains a lot.
They did play the fake Hornets. Also, they won the other day without Luka. They've been winning without Luka. Is Luka valuable? TBD.
Depends who you play.
Well, who's
Valuable
less?
at
Yeah,
all.
Will Barton and Luka Doncic go out and the
Same.
Nuggets keep winning.
That's so true.
Trade Will Barton for Luka Doncic.
The Mavs and Nuggets, the Mavs and Nuggets in the same spot, though, 14 and 13. So it's, I keep rooting for them to
this
lose. Like, we need them to lose.
It's the exact same circumstances, too, that have brought them to that record.
76ers fall to the Grizzlies tonight, guys, but it doesn't count. Joel Embiid didn't play. He's played like 4 in a row. I mean,
That's a lot.
honestly,
Let's take some time off.
Give him some credit, man. Like, really, like, in this league, as a max player, 4 in a row.
oh
Like,
man,
yeah,
I some like 4, might have been
Wait,
3. I
4,
don't
yeah.
know.
We
Hold
have learned no lessons. Comes out after that he almost died. We're going right back.
This was a rest one, though.
I'm just-
this one's a
I know,
rest.
I know
He's
we're
gonna
not.
die of
I
rest.
know we're not doing that.
But
We learned nothing.
But he played 4 basketball games in a row.
That's true. That's true.
It's such a
pretty good.
bummer for 76ers fans
To have to watch Embiid.
to have to not watch him beat. I mean, you want to watch your guy, but he's just is he going to be there? You
Couldn't
never
happen to
know.
a better set of fans.
Well, all right.
Around the A.
Around the
Swing.
association here, I'm looking at the box score. By the way, the Grizzlies without John Morant, the best player in the world. It's crazy how good they are without John Morant. It doesn't make any sense. This was a 30-point butt whooping here tonight. Jaren Jackson, very good.
The Grizzlies have a lot of good players all the way through their roster. That's one thing that they might be, like, not in terms of, because I don't know about their starters, but just depth 1 through 15, they're way, way up there.
Yeah. So there you go. Grizzlies, by the way, 17-11. Like, they're so far ahead of the Nuggets. It's ridiculous, man. What the hell's going on?
Well, we've had a terrible season as far as luck is concerned, and the god of sport has turned his back on us. But we have one shining champion that has brought us all the way.
Well, here's the thing. So I think the top 3 seeds are likely, I mean, it's a long season, but likely going to go Golden State, Phoenix, Utah in some order. So Denver, you're hoping they get to the 4 and then play the 5. Look, man, of all the teams, Memphis, I feel good about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So, like, if Denver can get up there in the 4-5, it's
I
like,
feel good about any matchup if we have Jamal Murray. Have I mentioned that we're in purgatory?
We are in purgatory.
We're not watching the actual form of the Nuggets.
Oh, this next one's going to be tough. Celtics destroy the Bucks tonight thanks to 42 points from Jason Tatum.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He was good tonight. Take the wheel. Take the wheel on this one.
Hang on. It's weird because I'm checking the box score and he shot well, so I actually can't see this.
You can't see it.
I can't see this at all.
Tough one tonight.
There's something wrong
the
with my
basketball
eyes.
gods gave you a great Facu game, and they're like, but it's going to cost you a Jason Tatum game, so you're going to have to...
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. All I'll do is skip national pods for 2 days.
Yeah, there you go. It's perfect.
Was this Jaylen Brown's first time back?
I don't know, man.
First time.
By the way, everybody talking about him getting traded. Everybody's talking about Jaylen Brown getting traded.
What? Oh, I thought you were about to get roster envious.
Well, would you want Jaylen Brown on Denver?
Dude, they should trade him to...
Who would they have to give up first?
Michael Porter, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not playing. But I don't know why Boston would want Michael Porter right now. They're trying to win. Although this year, let's be honest, Boston. Let's be honest with ourselves. Don't think you're winning anything this year.
Indiana should trade for Michael Porter Jr.
Why?
Because they are in rebuild mode. They're not trying to win this year, and they're able to get a really high ceiling player that can take a year off.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Man, Tatum really played well. That's wild.
Let me know in the comment. I'm curious. I'll read this later. I'm curious to see if people want Jaylen Brown. I do think he could be a good fit. It'd be interesting. It'd definitely be interesting. The Rockets. My God, the Rockets are 9-18. You guys, I don't get it. They went into Atlanta. Into Atlanta and got a win.
We are a problem.
Yeah, 132-126. No defense was played in this entire game. Eric Gordon, who could help any team in the NBA, but maybe Houston's pushing for the playoffs now. He goes off tonight and gets 32 points, goes 5 of 8 from the three-point line.
Go to the second leading scorer on that Rockets team.
DJ Augustine.
DJ Augustine.
This team, oh my God. Şengün goes for 11, 6, and 4. Look at this score, man. Everybody's stats are pretty wild. Trae Young,
DJ Augustine
41.
is still in the league, really. I feel like he's like
good.
Jameer Nelson's age.
He is.
You guys still root for Danilo Gallinari at all?
Yes, I love Danilo Gallinari.
Love yourself some Gallo.
I love Gallo.
The Kings are the sad. They're just so sad. They lose tonight to the Raptors.
Sad.
They are so sad, man.
Really
I feel
sad.
really bad for them.
Kings of sadness.
Should have drafted Luka Doncic. I'll say it.
Yeah, that's probably a good take.
I'm willing to say it.
Honestly, anybody but Bagley, they probably should have taken. I don't see anything that really stands out here in this game.
There was 9 players on the Raptors that was in double digits.
That's how they have to win.
That's insane, though, that you're playing guys that long and they're also doing whatever they want against the Kings.
That's a sad. The Kings are so sad. The Warriors win by 2 in Indiana. Steph Curry did not break the record. He's 2 away now from breaking the record in Madison Square Garden, which happens, I believe, on Wednesday.
I bet he was trying. He was angling for that.
Sure. I don't mind him, by the way. Oh, you mean for going to MSG?
That he didn't push to break the record tonight.
Don't you think though, like if Jokic was going to break the record for most triple doubles, and everyone was like, I hope it happens at MSG, wouldn't you be like, man, no, it happens at Ball Arena?
Oh,
don't you think?
I think in this
people in Indiana wanted that.
I think in this context, it's because the Warriors were on the road and people were assuming it's just going to happen at a.
I know, but everybody's just so excited about it, and I'm like, if I'm a Warriors fan, I'm like, he's the king of Oracle.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. But I'm saying, like, if given the opportunity to break it in Indiana or
sure, of course,
pushing for it, though.
Indiana, what's it? But what are they called? Is it Banker's Life or what are
Field
they?
House?
It's a
like-
field house,
it's
but
like
it's
Vivint Life.
No,
that's
I know.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Gamebridge. Or, I can't remember
the
what it's
Smucker's
something.
Dome or
the
something.
Smucker's Dome. The Smucker's Dome.
The
I can't
Smucker's
remember.
Skechers Arena.
The Warriors, by the way, are 22-5. It's disgusting.
Ugh.
I can't believe it.
Oh, is Klay Thompson on their team yet?
No, he's not there
my
yet.
God.
It's a little concerning. The Heat lose. What happened?
I was just saying a little concerning.
A little concerning. The Heat lose to the Cavs, by the way. Talk about the surprise team, man. JB Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year, getting a lot of buzz. A lot of people are saying 105-94.
He's playing Kevin Love, and he's actually giving him like good minutes. Like Kevin Love, like it really throws me off that I've been seeing him like play, like that.
Man, the everybody was in the positive except for Chetty Osman for the Cavs tonight.
Dude,
Just a wire-to-wire good win from everybody.
Okay, outside of Golden State, because I'd say they're probably number 1. Vibes power rankings. Is Cleveland number 2?
Oh, that's a great
their
one.
vibes?
Their vibes have to be.
Phoenix's vibes are pretty great, man.
Oh, that's a good
Phoenix's
a good one.
vibes are
That's
pretty
a-
Our
great.
vibes suck right now.
Yeah.
We
Not
need
tonight,
better
though.
vibes.
We do need better vibes.
Like tonight should have been an absolute vibe
fest.
We're just angry.
I'll tell you what, the Bulls definitely had the best vibes until every one of them got COVID.
Yeah.
They have 10 players and
that's a tough
their
vibe
games are
scene.
canceled. That's
Tough
a tough
vibe
vibe.
Grizzlies
scene.
vibes are good. That's a good point.
Grizzlies vibes are great. You're right. That's they're way up there. I like it though. Cavs, they got to be right up there. And then the Suns currently getting blown out. They're down 17 points.
Well, that's
to the
hang on.
Clippers.
They're missing a player.
They are missing a player. It is
Does
tough.
everyone get the joke?
Yeah, it is true, man. So they are going to drop to 21-5.
Oh,
Likely.
PHNX having a rough night.
Oh man, the
It started with Adam
Cardinals.
sabotaging them blatantly.
Man.
Like, hey, look it, they're playing against the Clippers, and they're missing their second best player.
Yeah.
And you're like, against the Clippers? Yes. Who are they missing?
I'm just saying that the Suns would have won tonight if Jamal Murray had played. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
There's something else to that. I thought you were going to
No.
keep going. Okay, all right. There you
No, that drawn out wow. was it.
That was a drawn out. Wow
I
for that.
thought it would be like a backdrop to somebody else talking. But I didn't really have much substance behind that. Oh, wow.
So we went around the association.
Wow. Went the whole loop. What's
Are we still
Harrison
waiting?
doing?
Are we still waiting on Harrison?
can we go-
Apparently
can
we
we
are.
compete?
Hang on.
Peter,
I'll look up Jason
loop.
Tatum's last game.
Yeah, let's just get some kind of.
Thank
Wow,
God.
what perfect timing!
Oh, Christ.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
What you
jeez.
guys are gonna do?
Harrison Wynn's ears were burning. Or is it burning or bleeding?
Bleeding. Bleeding.
Ringing. Is it ringing?
His ears are bleeding right
Why
now.
would your ears burn?
Both are on.
Why would your
I
ears
think it's
burn?
ringing. I think ringing.
No, your
No.
ears ring
They
when it's
bleed.
like it's burning. I think
It is not bleeding.
Why would your ears burn?
definitely not.
Your ears bleed if you have like a terrible condition. Like,
But they ring if you've heard something too loud. His ears were burning.
All right, let's get Harrison on the
They don't
show.
burn.
well, let's just find out, Harrison. Were your ears burning, bleeding, or itching?
My ears might have
Oh
been
man, we can't hear anything.
bleeding from those Facu passes tonight.
Yeah, there it goes. That's
All right,
the one.
Wayne,
Harrison
take one guess what's going to have to happen now.
There we
Let's see if
go.
we can do this
Yeah, I
interview
told you
without
guys.
hearing
We're going to
anything
plug a
from
speaker in,
Harrison.
and then you say everything
Oh
you just
my
said
God,
from the
Harrison,
start.
that
We
was
can't-
great.
yeah, we can't-
Just
But just talk. I think everyone
Just
else
start
can hear you,
talking.
right?
there you are.
I could have said anything right there, and you guys would have never known. I could have been talking shit about you guys. You would have never known.
You should have.
Definitely true. Harrison, we don't know if the vibes are good or bad right now for the Denver Nuggets. Can you just tell us what they are?
I think the vibes are good.
All
The
right.
vibes are good.
Dude, and Harrison is the ultimate vibe meister.
He is a vibe meister, man.
This was setting up to be an ultimate vibes are immaculate night until late in the fourth quarter. It was going to be like great vibes from Michael Malone. He was probably going to go up and down the roster and say how excited he was for everybody, and then what happened.
Yeah, what happened. Well, why don't you take us through your perspective of what happened there?
Well, it didn't exactly come out of nowhere because Nikola Jokic was on the wrong end of a couple really bad no calls.
Yeah.
He got elbowed. He got hit in the nuts trying to take a charge. He got kneed right in the groin. And it kept building for like 3 possessions or 4 possessions. And then it reached a boiling point with him. And he kind of cracked. And then he got ejected. And that was that.
Yeah, that was that. Do you feel, before you get to commentary from Michael Malone and others, Do you feel like Jokic lost his cool and maybe he shouldn't have, or do you feel it's like, I mean, come on, man. Tony Brothers, 6th ejection of Jokic.
I mean, you can't ignore the Tony Brothers thing, but the thing is, Jokic can't put himself in that position. Like, Tony Brothers, yes, he was in the wrong. He lost control of the game, and the officiating crew really lost control of the game, it felt like, for a couple minutes leading up to that ejection. But we've said this before. I've said this before. The bottom line is he just can't put himself in that position.
It's so funny that you say put yourself in that position, because the position was up 18 with 6 minutes, which is like, and almost any other team, it's like that's a fine position to get tossed. But we, of course, know the Nuggets, they struggle there. All right, well, take us to inside the locker room here.
Well, Michael Malone started out his presser like really pissed off. He was asked about the Jokic ejection, of course.
Funny how we started off the show.
Didn't really have much to say on it. He said Jokic obviously can't do that. He knows it. He can't get fourth quarter technicals. He's way too important for the team. But eventually, I feel like Malone kind of opened up and got a little bit more reflective, and you kind of really got how he's feeling where his team is at right now. And he rattled off this stat that was really interesting. He said the Nuggets right now have played the fewest home games out of anybody in the West.
Right.
They played the most road games out of anybody in the West.
Goes hand in hand, but yep.
They have the hardest schedule in the NBA. And, he said, looking at our record, coming into tonight, we were 500. A lot of people would say that's disappointing. He said he's really proud of where his team is at with the schedule, with the injuries, with the COVID stuff. Now they obviously get over 500 tonight. That was probably the most revealing thing that Malone said tonight. All in all, with where they're at this season, he's happy with where they're at right now.
Yeah. It's interesting. On the Keep It at 1,000 pod, it was interesting, this last one. George Karl seemed to think that Malone was using too many excuses publicly. And I think you could, I don't know if I agree with this, by the way. I haven't noticed it. George tells me my ears don't work when it comes to criticism of the Nuggets, so we'll take that for what you will. But I do wonder, like, with something like that, just do you say you're happy with where your team is when you're in the 8 seed or something like that? Or is that a thing you could feel but don't say? I don't know. But it's an interesting comment coming from Malone.
I think it's just him being kind of a realist. No, I don't think he says that if the Nuggets lose tonight. But they won. So we don't have to think about that. But I think he's right, man. The injuries have been wild. I mean, the Nuggets were close to playing without 4 of their projected opening night starters, if you're counting Jamal Murray. But Aaron Gordon played tonight. They're down a lot of guys. They're down a lot of scorers.
Yeah.
A great defender in PJ Dozier. So I think Malone's kind of just talking in reality.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is reality. I mean, I agree. The Nuggets' schedule has been atrocious, and I don't mind where they're at. Okay, what else?
Malone called Aaron Gordon a warrior tonight. So Aaron Gordon came into this game questionable with low back pain. He didn't go through shoot-around. And then Malone said just now that the docs were telling him this afternoon that he probably wasn't going to play because the pain was just that bad. But Aaron Gordon goes out there and plays a great defensive game on Bradley Beal, has these a couple massive dunks. It didn't seem like a lot of him at all. Held Bradley Beal to 19 points on 8 of 19 shooting. A great defensive game, I thought. And, Malone said that a lot of guys wouldn't have played tonight just knowing the assignment and being injured. But Gordon did, and they called him a warrior because of that. And Malone said he's cementing himself as one of the best defenders in the league and one of the better all-around players in the NBA.
I feel like there's Aaron Gordon has to feel so loved.
He better.
I think he does.
Yeah,
I'll go and I'll hug him. We were laughing about the idea that he had a hurt back when he performed a windmill dunk.
Yeah.
And we were like, man, if I woke up with a hurt like a little twinge in my back, I like just wouldn't get out of bed.
Yeah. I wouldn't even text you back.
Dude, I had
No.
a crink in my neck, man, the last couple of days.
Adam
Really rough,
did
dude.
most of the show with a crink in his neck.
Can you guys believe? And I didn't even complain about it just now.
To be honest, it was
Yeah.
very evident.
You see,
What is a
because how I
crink?
turn right now.
It's a crook.
Oh, get out of our lives, Deb.
Is it not a creek?
You're a crook. It's a crink, and it's burning,
Yeah.
not bleeding. Harrison, take us into the locker room, would you please?
We're still on Mike and Malone, Eric.
Okay.
Gosh.
Malone was talking about the offense tonight. 113 points, 47% from the field, not great from three, but only 13 turnovers, and that's been a little bit of a theme. They've been keeping the turnovers down. Malone did say the ball was, quote, flying around. Flying around.
The ball is flying.
Katie gave me a balls popping tonight, though.
She did.
She
She
did,
gave
man.
all
Katie's
of
the
us.
best.
She
She's
also
the
called
queen.
Monte Morris our guard with composure, I'm told.
Oh,
I will shoot her a DM. Let
She's
her know,
docked a
but
couple
it's all right,
points, but
all
it's
right.
fine.
She crushed it, though.
Okay.
That's still a fact, though. He doesn't.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
You can never use that adjective. So, like, ever.
I should have told
All
her
right,
first.
what else?
I'll move on to Jeff Green here. We talked with Jeff tonight. He shouted out Aaron, who said he's playing tremendous, showing what he can do on both ends of the floor. And he was kind of talking about the season as a whole and said, we've been talking internally amongst ourselves, just that we've got to fight through this stretch. We've just got to fight. Jeff Green said he feels like every game a guy goes down with an injury or with COVID. And I think he's kind of right. That's what it's definitely seemed like. But they've been talking amongst themselves about just fighting through this stretch and doing whatever they can to get a win. Jeff Green on the starting lineup and why that's been able to gel so well with him in there. And he pretty much just said, look, I'm a vet. I'm in there to do whatever the team needs me to do. If I need to score, I can score. If I need to defend, I can defend. If I need to play make and set others up, I can do that too. I'm just really doing whatever I need to do. That's my job. Just kind of be a jack of all trades.
I like it, man. I mean, it is true. Do you have any personal thoughts on his shirt?
His shirt? What was his shirt?
You didn't notice? It was like a bright orange shirt. It looked almost Guy Fieri-esque. I thought that you might have noticed.
I love it. 10 out of 10.
Okay, perfect. What else you got?
Jeff Green, quote, Facu magic is amazing. That's a direct quote.
Facu Magic?
Can you tell
Magic.
Jeff I agree?
Yeah.
What play got Ball Arena the loudest tonight? There were so many highlights.
Man, it might have been the Gordon windmill.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I mean, Facu just took over the arena in that second quarter. Everything.
Yeah, he did.
He had a run, man. He had quite the run.
That was an all-time run.
Okay.
Monte tonight, he said that this 7-game road trip, he thinks it was good for them because they learned why they're winning and why they're losing.
It's a coach's player right there.
Yeah, that's talking like a future coach.
Yep.
Monte was talking about Devon Reed and the impact he's had. Devon Reed's 10-day contract is up. He's going back to Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
And Austin Rivers was on the bench tonight. It seems like he's going to be a go for Wednesday. So Devon Reed is not going to be here anymore. Austin Rivers is going to step into that spot. But Monte was giving a ton of praise to Devon Reed, saying he's really unselfish. He said, look, he's fine with just chasing the guys around for 48 minutes, and he's not going to complain. Just going to do whatever the coach needs him to do. He said he enjoys playing with him, and he does a lot of stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. So Devon Reed definitely won over the locker room, I feel like, in his 10 days here. I wouldn't be surprised if he's back before the end of the season.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either, man. I'm going to miss him, honestly. Like, he was – Austin Rivers has big shoes to fill.
Yeah, he deserves a lot of praise for that.
Yeah,
stretch.
Devon Reed was very good. Happy for him.
The other interesting thing that Monte said tonight, he was talking about just, look, he's 20 – how many games are we into this thing? 27? He's 27 games into being a starter. And he said initially, like, he didn't lie. He said it was tough, just learning how to, call plays for everybody out there, building a chemistry with Yoke. But now he thinks he's at a point in the season where he's really settling in. He says he has a much better sense now of how to play with Yoke and how to run that starting unit out there. And then finally with Monte, he was talking about Jokic, and I asked him about the rebounding because I am determined to get to the bottom of why Nikola Jokic is rebounding it like crazy this season. I mean, 19 rebounds tonight. The rebounding's out of control.
Yep.
Monte's theory is that, look, great players add something to their game every season. The increased athleticism might have something to do with it. Spoiler alert, I asked Jokic about it too, and he said nothing is different, of course.
He always zags.
Talking about just Jokic's game this season compared to last season, and he says he's noticed improvement across the board, and like now, no matter what the defense does, even if they double him, for example, he's still scoring the ball with ease. So he had some good stuff to say just about how, look, this guy won MVP last season, but he's a much better player this year, and in terms of how he's seeing the game better and all that.
Yeah, I love it.
Quick question. You guys think it's weird that Devon Reed is going back down to the G League and there's guys on the bench that have not played a minute?
It's very weird.
Like,
That's
why
just the
wouldn't
way
they
it
send
works, yeah.
Peter Corneli down?
No, because
Well,
they can't have him on the roster anymore. That's
He's
why.
actually not. Yeah, the contract
Because
itself has expired now.
Denver had a hardship. They don't have a roster spot for Davon
because
Reed.
Austin Rivers will return.
They only
tomorrow.
got a temporary roster spot.
I see, but they can't shift one guy down and bring somebody
That's
back
what I
up.
was saying. Like, just
They could.
you
yeah.
don't play. This guy plays.
Marcus
Yeah, like,
it would be Marcus or Peter Corneli who you could, I guess, buy out of their two-way and then get a new two-way, but Peter Corneli came over from France. I don't know. It's a little weird. They might, honestly, I think he'll be back. I really do think he'll be back. Maybe soon. We'll find out. All right, what else?
So then we talked to Yoke. Yoke didn't have a ton to say tonight. Super complimentary of all the guys.
Tony
Davon
Brothers.
Reed as well. He was talking about the ejection. He took responsibility for it, but then said, look, to be honest, I don't think I deserved it. I just said, call a foul because it was a foul.
So dumb, man. So dumb.
It was so dumb because this game was over,
Yeah.
They're 30 in the third. The vibes were great. And it kind of felt like how the Miami game ended. That was also a dominant win for Denver, marred by that incident at the end of the game.
Man, that is a good call. You're right. It did kind of feel like that, huh? That game was also at vibes immaculate, and then you're like, oh no, Yoke's out for a while. 5-game suspension.
I love that in town, I'm the only one I know of. We're the only sports-based reporting, whatever the hell we are.
Yeah, good question.
That rates games on vibes. All the time.
Well,
it's like our number one.
People should probably start.
That's right.
The number one way we rate games is vibes.
I have it on good authority. That's all there is.
all
What
there
else?
is, man.
What else? Anything else there from this one, Harrison?
That's really all I got from the post game. This game was a joy to watch in person. I mean, let me tell you that. Jokic almost had a 30-20-10 night in 3 quarters. It was one of the most dominant games I've ever seen from him, and I've seen a lot of them. But it was an awesome night until the last couple minutes.
I feel the same way, Harrison, but I feel like I've said that 8 times in the last 2 weeks, and I'm just at the point where I'm like, his new average is 30, 20, and 10.
I mean, this is his baseline, dude.
This
That's
is
just the
baseline.
thing. Like he barely accelerated tonight, Wind, and
His baseline is Wilt Chamberlain.
It's
and every
insane,
now and
man.
then he goes into Wilt Chamberlain mixed with Michael Jordan. It's
my God.
it's pretty crazy. Harrison, thanks so much, man. Get home safely,
Yeah, dude.
and we'll talk tomorrow.
guys.
Lift your own vibes, man. Don't worry about Tony Brothers.
By the way, if anyone was wondering, great vibes from Harrison tonight. Still vibing off that Succession finale last night. We're
man.
happy people.
I have
man.
not seen
I
it.
won't say a word.
Don't even.
You've said too much, actually, already.
You just mentioned that it was good, and now I'm thinking about what would make it good. I've spoiled it in my own mind.
Play that outro music there, Kale, and let's head out of here. Any final thoughts, guys?
I don't like Tony Brothers. Oh,
Hell yeah, it is.
Can we put a leash on ref
Dappender.
somehow?
Can we put a leash on ref somehow? Probably not.
it seems dangerous.
It does seem dangerous.
Just have a leash flopping around out there.
Yeah, probably not going to be able to do that.
Reffing is probably so hard. I mean, the tech stuff is, you ask for that, in my opinion, and you have a good points about accountability, but the gig as a whole is probably so hard.
One last thought.
They
It
get
is
paid a
crick.
lot,
I
though.
looked it up.
They
It's a
do.
crick in the neck. It's also ears burning. Those two have been confirmed by the internet. Dev
Well, the internet's
took
never
2
wrong.
L's in the
Wow.
chat here on the show. Almost took 3, but the Nuggets won.
I did really good in my draft teams.
He did. That's the one that matters, if we're being honest. Everybody, thank you so much for riding with us. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. And by the way, don't forget the gift box. There's lots and lots in the DNVR gift box. You want to buy it for somebody you know and love. And then also our party bus. You're going to want to join us there as well. We want to see all of you guys hang out and have the night of our lives.
Oh, the night we'll never remember.
We'll come back to the DNVR bar and sing songs
that we make up on the spot.
Oh, it's going to be
Play
great.
some Tool.
Get home safe,
Puddle of
everybody.
Mud.
Actually, you're probably already safe. Just go to bed.
Just go to sleep.